Hey, it's Brian Rose, and this is episode 6 of Diary of a Fighter. I've got 36 days to go until my boxing debut at the O2 Arena in London. And I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health, specifically men's mental health, and how boxing can actually be a solution for that. And I know that sounds crazy. How can two guys putting gloves on their hands and punching each other in the face until one quits be any solution for mental health? And I think one of the best examples of this is Tyson Fury. You know, Tyson Fury, the current world heavyweight champ, who is just a phenomenon. It's just incredible to watch his passion, his drive, his creativity as a fighter. It's just amazing to watch, but it's also incredible to understand that this man was suicidal. He was literally killing himself. He was drinking himself to death, drugging himself to death, eating himself to death, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I have to compliment and put my hats off to Tyson for being so open and honest about his mental health challenges. He is a fellow Brit here alongside me who makes the UK his domicile. And I appreciate him speaking about his challenges. And he has a famous story where he was driving, I think, in his Ferrari at 100 miles an hour after he had been drinking and doing drugs, and he just really thought about just putting that car right into a wall or off a bridge because he just wanted to end it. And he wanted to end it because he didn't have a purpose. He didn't have a mission. He didn't have a drive. And once he got back into that mission of the fight, of boxing, of maybe something bigger than himself, was he able to actually become mentally healthy. And it's something I really want to talk about with this fight, because this isn't just a fight, what I'm doing here at the O2 Arena. And again, I'm joined by a lot of amazing people on this card, including Martin Ford, an incredible human being, Hollywood actor, bodybuilder, who is headlining the card. He's fighting the Iranian Hulk, and it's going to be an incredible, incredible event. And I'm real privileged to be fighting on that same card. And, it's great to see Martin talk about how the actual process of fighting itself is a really important thing for, I'll just say it, for men to embrace. It's part of who we are. It's part of our DNA, definitely women as well. But it's something that as men, it's a great thing to use to channel, and that is our relationship with fighting, with physical contact with each other. And, when I get home at night after a long day at London Real, what do me and my two boys do, 4 and 5 years old? You know what we do? We fight. And, afterwards I read them a story and we have stuffed animals. But before that, they're like, Papa, can we fight? And we go to my big king size bed and we have a big old fight. And these kids are no joke. I got to tap them out and submit them 2 at a time. Caden, my young man, he's got some strong kicks on him and some strong punches. And I'm trying to encourage them to have a relationship, not with violence, but with their physicality, and with physicality and other people. And I think this is a really important point to talk about, and it's an important thing to address. And that is for men to find a relationship with physical contact with other men, and to find a way where we can find some type of a way to coexist with that. And this is something I'd like to explore, and this is something we need to talk more about, because combat sports are a necessary part of the human experience. That's what I'll say. And so what you'll see on Saturday night, April 2nd, is you'll see some men and women going into the ring to slug it out and punch each other in the head. And again, I'm training very hard for this, and I am going there to win. And I will be doing everything in my power to win. And so will Martin. But the real conversation we want to have here is to explore everyone's relationship with this incredible sport of boxing, because it forces you to confront your physicality, your own disciplines, your own lackings, right? Your own flaws, and to focus on a mission, which is to get in the ring with another human being, which is always going to be a chaotic and uncontrollable situation, and to prepare yourself for the worst so you can expect the best. And I don't think this is ever going to get old. I think 1,000 years from now, at the new O2 Arena in London, there will be people fighting. And this has happened 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago in the Colosseum in Rome. Of course, the rules have changed a little now, so we do survive. But this is something, as Dana White said, fighting is in our DNA. And I think that we need to go into that. I think we need to push ourselves towards this real carnal desire and not try to go away from it and run away from all forms of physical contact and all forms of confrontation, because it's not realistic. And so part of the reason that I'm fighting that night and that Martin is fighting that night is so we can have this conversation with the world, with Britain and with London as well. And we've seen too many boxing clubs and local athletic facilities that encourage combat sports for young men and women be shut down in the pandemic and the funding cuts. Don't get me started about the mayor, because I can do a whole video on that. But there's a real need to give these young people and even older folks like myself a real combat alternative. And you know, it's something I've been doing for a long time, and I'm going to do future videos about my own whole journey with martial arts that literally saved my life and got me out of a life of, you know, a drug addiction and overdose, and not too dissimilar to what happened with Tyson Fury. I was at lows just as low as Tyson was. My story happened back in 2001. So want to talk about that. I'd love to hear your comments. Do you think that fighting is an important part of good mental health? Because I know it is. But if you don't think that's true, I'd love to have that conversation. And part of the reason I'm doing this is to put that front and center, and also show that I think we need combat sports in all ages of our life. And I'll be talking more about that with my martial arts journey in coming diaries. So again, thank you. I'm going to be doing one of these a day right up until fight night. I hope you're enjoying this show. And regardless, I'm enjoying it. I'm finding this to be an incredible experience. I'm reconnecting with all sorts of amazing people in my life, and I'm getting tons of support from some very special people out there. So thank you for watching. Join me Saturday, April 2nd at the O2 Arena. It's going to be an incredible night. And trust me, sparks are going to fly, and the unthinkable will happen. I know what I want to happen, but what will happen is going to obviously be a little bit random and undetermined, and hopefully you'll enjoy that spectacle. So we'll see you at the O2 Arena. Ticket links are below. Thank you to Boxstar. Thanks to Martin Ford. And I'll be vlogging more this weekend.